Okay. All right, so I'm going to do a little video on the salt and pepper connectors, 10-pin connectors on the Ford Mustang and a lot of other fuel injected Fords of the 80s and 90s. So when you pop these off, there's these clips here. You got to pull them out. If they're in the car, they're going to be kind of a pain in the butt. There's probably about a 90% chance that you'll break one or two of them, but I don't know if that matters so much because once they're clipped in, they're still pretty solid. But anyways, in order to get from here to here, okay, so this is kind of the end result. This has got a female and this has got a male in. Pull these little tabs off, get the hat off of just the one, really. I don't know why they have the hat. There's three little tabs here. You can actually come in and give them a little snap and they'll pop off. Then the next step on this is there's this little red spacer bushing in here, and if you just give it a little pull, it literally, I mean, every one I've done just pops out super easy. Okay, then in here, if you look real close, there's a little tab, and you got to get something small like this little pick, and with the tab, kind of push that tab. Let me see if I can get it. Push that in. It's kind of tricky. Hold it in place and then just push down on the, and you can see that one's ready to just pop right out. So, and then you push it back in and they're clipped in. So you do that to all 10, pull it out on both sides. You got this little connector here, boom, it breaks apart if you're going to do it, so you're kind of committed. And once you're done, you get this, and this right here is this. Well, this is the black one because the white one has the different wiring, the power and stuff like that. So this one is off. I'm going to take it. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take these out, and I am going to literally just connect them to the other ends because they have these butt connectors. And they're basically just, they're all the same wires and everything, so you're just going to slip them together. Now, I know a lot of people have cut the wires and then soldered them. Well, if you're doing that in the car, I don't know if that's a good idea because that's going to be quite a chore. But here, these are connected. And my thought is that if these worked for the last 35 years on the Mustang, and I plug them back in the right spot, obviously, which is pretty easy now because everything's just kind of there. I think I'll take this rubber bushing off, shrink wrap, heat wrap them, and then put it back. I'm planning on using both of these as extensions because I had, at one point I went to the wrecking yard and had pulled a bunch of these off for whatever reason, I don't know. Well, now I know the reason is that one day I'm going to get rid of these things, and I'm going to use these little 6-inch extensions to lengthen that so I can get stuff out of the way on the back of the Mustang. So I'm going through this process right now. I'm taking them out of the Mustang. So as you can see, I have those there. I'm also doing readjusting the valves on this Mustang. So, but that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to disconnect those and shrink wrap them or heat wrap them and put them back together, and then that way when they go back in, I'll have some extra room to clean up the back of that. So anytime I got to access the back of the engine, I at least have some room. So I'm going to stop with this one, do a little checking, do a little bit there. But the same thing, you can access them there. You can see I've already punched them out on those ones. They're almost ready to go. So this is part one. All right, so here are my tools of the trade. So this, pop it out, set it out of the way. I got the little tab. I'm gonna pull one of them out, kind of hold it with my finger, thumb, and then just push down. There we go. Try that again. 90% of them are good. Then I get one or two that are kind of, there we go. Just push it down, get the next one. You need the light definitely to see the little plastic tabs. Hold it in place. Those ones are a little sticker, but they just push down. Tab gets pushed out of the way. Oh, there we go. So as you can see, that's pretty easy. I just did 4 or 5 of those in about 2 minutes. So I'm gonna do the rest of them. I'm gonna pull it off. Got to pop these little caps off of the, and then that rim part off of this. You can see I already kind of, they break. They're so brittle. They break so easy. But then I'm gonna clean that up and extend it out. And they're all the same. Then as far as I can tell, they're all color coded. It should be just plug them in. I mean, if that connection has worked for 35 years, then adding that extra wire to it's going to be the same connection. I think just clean them up and put new dielectric grease in there and go for it. So trying to clean up the back of this thing and get it back running. This is a good motor, trick flow heads, Edelbrock intake. Both of them have been extrude hone. The motor's a 347 stroker, 86 Mustang, Cobra brakes, Cobra booster. That's a pain in the butt to put in when you put it into an 86 Mustang. Maximum Motorsports torque arm. So we got the brakes all the way around. Panhard bar. That's the interior of it. Didn't have anything. Did the door panels, did different handles. Seat delete. White face gauges. T5Z. And we went console-less. I like that. It's kind of got the old Mustang look on it. So quite the project car. A lot of fun. Oh, we got the Mach 1 spoiler down at the bottom of it. And did the handmade. This was an LX, but I put a GT front end on it when we did all the body work to it, and just found some fog lights that fit in the holes. So that is the 86 Mustang. Okay, so I got these two unplugged. They're all pushed out. I pushed them down like I showed you. Then all you got to do is just slide them out. It slides out super easy. There's my connectors. Now if I wanted to do this right now, I just match them up. I'm going to take this part off and clean this up. But as long as you just get the right ones, they're just going to automatically plug in, boom, like that, and then deal done. But I'm going to take these extension ones I have, I think, and then plug them in, and then I will have a little extra room to be able to put that somewhere and move them into a position that will you know, give me a little more room and freedom to wire them up. But that's all there is to it. I'm going to clean them up, obviously, and then just pull the tape back, make sure you connect them all to the right spot, and boom, you're done. And the nice thing with these extra ones is they're all the same color wiring and stuff. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that for different years, but obviously this is an 86, so it did not have mass air. But the mass air doesn't run through here, I'm pretty sure. So that would be its own separate, like I did before, as I wired it. 86 with mass air, it's pretty easy to do. So now it's just a matter of, do you want to just connect them and go and clean this up, and it'll be nice and clean and a lot smaller and a little more manageable, or do I want to actually use these extensions? So that's my debate right now. Okay, well, hopefully that helps, because it's pretty easy. I mean, I think you could probably do this in an hour and a half or something, pretty easy once you get going. So good luck if you want to do it. I'll let you know how it works once I get everything put back together. All right, so I got it all done. It's pretty easy. Just put here's the two wires, so, or the two connectors are gone, as you can see. The biggest thing you got to do is with the pins, mine, hang on a sec. Got a little Charlie Daniels going. Anyways, the biggest thing I noticed was that when I looked at the wires on the 10 pin, okay, we'll try this again. Battery just died on me. So anyways, when I was doing the 10 pin on both of them, the salt and pepper connectors, what had happened was the lines, because they go tan and green, tan and yellow, tan and this, well, the problem is that the lines really start to fade pretty fast. Even the green and black, or the black and green wire, became more of a greenish with black. So the one thing I would recommend you do is definitely mark each one of the wire colors to the connector. So if the orange and the orange are there, make sure that you look at everything and go, okay, you know what, they're all matched up. Oh, this one looks a little bit different faded color, so I got to make note of that. If you don't, very possibly you're going to end up playing a game of cat and mouse. So I highly recommend that. I looked at them briefly, but I definitely didn't go and do a thorough job of it. So I had a couple that I had to peel back the layer quite a bit to match up the colors, because you couldn't, the first 4 or 5 inches, you definitely could not tell. So that would be my best advice on that. But otherwise, taking it apart is pretty easy. Connecting them, shrink wrap. Obviously, doing that on the car is kind of a pain in the butt. If you have the harness out, this is a super easy job, but it's definitely doable. It cleans it up. I got a lot of room back there now for my hand to actually get to the PCV valve. I mean, look at that. I can actually touch the PCV valve with these, the wires there. I just kind of, as you can see, I've done a wire tuck to this engine bay anyway, so trying to keep it as clean as possible. But that right there gives you a lot more room when you got to get back there and mess around with stuff and put a wrench in and do things like that. So if you do your diligence at the beginning and you actually, you know, check and mark each wire, I think you could do this in pretty easy amount of time, couple hours. Mine, I had to start peeling stuff back, so that definitely started eating into the time frame. But otherwise, hopefully you got it. Shrink wrap them, probably solder them, put a little dip of solder in them when you connect them. That way everything stays, but they connect pretty well, so it's pretty good. I did not use extensions. I just did that's just the connectors on that, because some of the cars do come with extensions, I think, for some kind of smog or emissions purpose or something like that. So that's where these came from. These extra ones were like the extensions to it. So anyways, interesting project, fun. I think in the end, I didn't necessarily do it for looks. I did it more for actual ease of access to getting into stuff, because man, those things are knuckle busters and knuckle cutters. So it's not that big a job to tackle anyway. So good luck if you decide to try it. Bye.